Leona is my partner, and you will show her respect." Jack Hayes's voice, usually a calm, resonant hum, cut through the clinking glasses of the Manhattan Skyline Gala, silencing the glittering elite beneath the glow of the Empire State Building. "Welcome to a tale of connection, class, and a truth that unravels assumptions." Leona Maxwell, a soft-spoken black architect, faces condescending whispers at a lavish tech event, branded a social climber by her tech magnate fiancé's influential friends. But when the truth surfaces, will she stand tall against their scorn, or will their judgment overshadow her unseen depth? What's your guess for how this night ends? Drop it in the comments and tell us where you're tuning in from. Bustling New York, sun-drenched LA, or quiet London. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to catch our latest stories. Share this with a friend and join the journey. Trust us, you won't see this twist coming. Stick around to find out why the New York night suddenly hummed with an electric, undeniable tension. The Empire State Building, a beacon of ambition, soared above them, its Art Deco crown illuminated against the velvet night. Below, a sprawling rooftop garden in Midtown Manhattan had transformed into a stage of opulent design. Glass walls shimmered, reflecting the city's constellation of lights, while avant-garde installations glowed under the weight of strategically placed spotlights. The air thrummed with the soft murmur of jazz, the clink of bespoke cocktails, and the faint scent of jasmine mingling with the sharp aroma of molecular gastronomy. It was a scene plucked from a high-tech dream, a gala that whispered immense wealth and cutting-edge influence. At the edge of this glittering world stood Leona Maxwell. Her presence was a quiet counterpoint to the room's bold energy. Leona, 30, was no stranger to commanding a room in her own way, but tonight felt starkly different. Her sleek black hair, swept into an elegant updo, gleamed like obsidian under the city lights, softening her intelligent blue eyes. Her charcoal suit, impeccably tailored, was understated next to the daring fashion statements surrounding her. Her gaze, thoughtful and analytical, scanned the crowd with a mix of mild fascination and guarded caution. Hours earlier, she'd been in her studio, buried under blueprints for a community housing project, finalizing a complex thermal regulation system. Tonight, she wasn't just Leona Maxwell, visionary architect. She was the woman stepping into the orbit of Jack Hayes's world, meeting his inner circle for the first time. Jack, 33, was the visionary behind Nexus Tech, a global AI and robotics empire. His fair skin glowed under the lights, and his vibrant laugh had captivated Leona from their first meeting. His warm brown eyes and disarming smile had unraveled her defenses. They'd met a year ago, their banter sparking over a shared passion for urban renewal. Since then, Jack had been her haven, the man who saw her not as labels, black, female, architect, but as the woman who challenged him to dream bigger. Tonight's gala was meant to be a celebration before their wedding next month, but Jack was momentarily caught up with an investor, his words warm but rushed. "Stuck with a last-minute deal, love." "Be there soon. You'll charm them." Leona had smiled, but now, standing alone, she felt the first prick of unease. The guests moved like a constellation of wealth, their designer techwear and bespoke gowns shimmering. The air was thick with privilege, each gesture polished, each smile calculated. Leona sipped her sparkling water, searching for Jack. She'd imagined them welcoming her, but the weight of their glances, curious, lingering, some tinged with something sharper, told her this night wouldn't be so simple. She moved toward a living wall, hoping to blend in. Leona was no stranger to scrutiny. She'd built eco-design labs from a fledgling concept into a renowned firm. Her journey through State University, fueled by relentless innovation, had taught her to navigate rooms where her practical, hands-on approach sometimes felt out of place. She'd risen, her vision to empower communities through sustainable architecture burning brighter than her doubts. Jack's world, she'd thought, would be different. His love was a shield, but the air felt charged, heavy with something unspoken. Across the rooftop, near a holographic display, a group of Jack's closest associates clustered, their voices low but sharp. Victor Thorne, a slick venture capitalist, leaned toward Clara Vance. "She's presentable, I'll give him that," he said, laced with condescension, loud enough for Leona to catch. "But come on, a woman like her, she's clearly after Jack's capital. Probably lives in some drafty Brooklyn loft, scraping by." Clara nodded, lips pursed. "Jack's just having fun. She's not serious material. What does she even do? A barista? A hobbyist coder?" The words landed like shards in Leona's chest. Her fingers tightened around her glass as she fought the urge to march over. She wasn't what they assumed. Eco Design Labs was her creation, born from sleepless nights perfecting blueprints. She'd grown up in a small town, her single mother teaching her to rise above narrow assumptions. Leona had never cared about Jack's wealth. She loved the man who debated urban planning with her, who left silly doodles on her sketchbooks. But to Victor, she was a caricature, a black woman reduced to a gold digger trope in this world of white privilege. Her phone buzzed. A text from her sister, Lily. "You okay at that fancy party? Those tech people can be brutal." Leona's throat tightened. She typed back, "I'm fine, just need Jack here." As she tucked the phone away, Victor's voice drifted over again, sharper, deliberate. "What does she even know about Nexus Tech? Or venture capital? Zero, I bet." Victor chuckled, his eyes flicking toward Leona. "Jack's slumming it, man. It's almost embarrassing." The words were a gut punch. Her tailored suit felt like armor now, her composure a shield. She'd faced worse, but this was personal, a public dismantling of her worth. Leona's instinct screamed to leave, but pride rooted her. She was Leona Maxwell, innovator, visionary, and she didn't run. She would hold her ground, her heart steady, her blue eyes blazing with a quiet fire that no whisper could extinguish. The New York night deepened, the Empire State Building's golden glow casting long shadows. Leona Maxwell stood near the living wall, her blue eyes burning with quiet resolve. Victor Thorne and Clara Vance's words still echoed, their venom piercing her. Her heart pounded, each beat a reminder of the life she'd built against the odds. Eco Design Labs, her sustainable architecture firm, was no small feat. Major government contracts secured through her grit. Yet here, she was reduced to a stereotype. Victor held court near the holographic display. "She's attractive, I'll admit," he said, his smirk curling. "But let's be real. A woman like her, she's got to be scraping by. Jack's wealth is the prize." Clara Vance nodded. "Exactly. She's a fling, nothing more. Jack's too smart to get serious." Their words bruised Leona. Her mind raced, memories of her journey flashing. She saw her mother, Sarah, working 2 jobs, urging her to dream bigger. She saw herself coding through nights. Eco Design Labs was her defiance. She didn't need Jack's wealth. She loved the man who shared pizza on her balcony. But to Victor, she was a caricature, her perceived simplicity a mark of inferiority. Victor's voice rose again. "What does she even do? An artisan? A trust fund kid who dabbles?" His chuckle was dark, his eyes catching Leona's. "Jack's slumming it, man. Bet he's already calculating her prenup." Clara laughed. The words were a blade. She wasn't invisible. She was Leona Maxwell, a groundbreaking architect, but their prejudice painted her as less. She read Lily's text. "You okay at that fancy party? Those people can be brutal." She typed back, "I'm fine, Just need Jack here. The weight of their gazes pressed harder. She joined a small circle near an art installation. Leona Maxwell, Eco Design Labs, she introduced herself. We're working on sustainable urban infrastructure. A woman in a jumpsuit showed interest. The Brooklyn Green Tower project, right? Massive impact. Leona's confidence bloomed. But Victor's voice crashed in. Oh, so you're like Jack's charity project? That's cute. The circle fell silent. Leona's pulse surged. Cute was a dismissal. She met Victor's gaze but held her tongue. She wasn't here to prove herself. She glanced toward the Empire State Building, willing Jack to arrive. The night was a powder keg. She would not break. The New York night crackled with tension. Leona Maxwell stood, her blue eyes blazing at Victor Thorne's venom. Her heart thundered. She was Leona Maxwell, founder of Eco Design Labs, and she would not be erased. She'd faced prejudice before, but this was public. She wanted to fire back, but pride demanded she wait. The city's dark skyline glittered, a reminder of her strength. A sleek black helicopter purred to a landing, Jack Hayes emerging, his tall frame cutting a sharp silhouette. His fair skin and bright blue eyes locked onto Leona. He sensed her tension. "Leona, love, what's wrong?" he asked, his hand warm. Leona's smile was tight, her eyes flicking toward Victor. Before she could speak, Victor's voice sliced through the jazz. "Jack," Victor called, raising his glass, "to your unconventional taste in company." The words hung like a guillotine. The crowd hushed. Leona's breath hitched. Jack stepped forward. "If you have a problem with Leona, Victor, say it plainly," he said. "She's not invisible." The crowd stilled. Victor's smirk widened. "Oh, sweetheart," he said, dripping with faux concern. "We're just looking out for you, making sure you're not being played by someone out of her league." The jab was sharp. Jack didn't flinch. His heart burned with memories of his own climb. But before Jack could fire back, Leona's voice, quiet but commanding, boomed low and clear. "There's no need, Jack," she said, stepping slightly in front of him. "Victor is simply curious about my league." She paused, letting her gaze sweep across the silent crowd. "You see, while Jack's work is revolutionizing the tech world, my own work has been a little more grounded." She took a deep breath. "My firm, Eco Design Labs, was acquired last month by Sustainable Futures Holdings for nearly $500 million. My focus, you see, is on pioneering self-sustaining urban systems, not just for the elite, but for communities often overlooked by traditional capital." Gasps rippled through the crowd, the revelation landing like a spark. Victor's face paled, his bravado crumbling. Leona turned to Jack. "I could have told them," she whispered. He squeezed her hand. "I know," he murmured, "but that was quite the reveal, wasn't it?" The crowd murmured. Clara Vance clapped softly, impressed. A prominent tech investor approached. "Eco Design Labs," he said. "That's game-changing. We tried to get a meeting with them for months." Leona managed a genuine smile. Her truth was public, on her terms. Victor muttered, "Didn't see that coming." The music swelled, but the atmosphere had shifted. Leona stood tall, her heart afire. She was Leona Maxwell, and this fight, for now, was over. The vibrant night pulsed. Leona stood hand in hand with Jack. Victor Thorne's defeat had shifted the tide. Leona felt vindicated. Victor's lingering resentment glinted in his eyes, as if Leona's quiet brilliance was a personal affront. Leona's heart pounded, remembering her battles. Victor stepped forward. I truly didn't know, Leona," he stammered. "My sincerest apologies. I clearly misjudged the situation." Leona met his gaze. "You didn't misjudge me, Victor," she said, cutting through the night. You judged my appearance, my unassuming presence, and assumed I was less. That's not an apology, that's damage control. The words landed like a stone. Clara Vance gasped. Victor's smile faltered. I was just being cautious, he stammered. Leona stepped closer. Cautious, she said, voice rising. You called me a barista, a hobbyist, because I didn't fit your preconceived notion. That's not caution, that's prejudice. The word hung, raw. Victor's face flushed. Clara Vance broke the silence. Well said, Leona. She said, I'd love to hear more about eco-design labs. It sounds truly revolutionary. Other investors pressed cards into her hand. Leona pocketed them, her confidence stirring. Jack leaned close. You handled that like a queen, he said. Leona nodded. Oh, we're a team, right? But I need to be heard too. Jack's eyes softened. Always, he said. The music swelled, the atmosphere shifting. Victor retreated. Leona couldn't shake the unease. Victor's silence was too calculated. The night was a powder keg, and though she'd won this round, she knew the battle wasn't over. She was Leona Maxwell, and she would face whatever came next. The New York night softened. Leona Maxwell stood hand in hand with Jack Hayes. Victor Thorne's retreat had shifted the tide. Leona sensed a fragile hope. Jack's hand anchored her. I'm sorry you faced that alone, he whispered. Leona squeezed his hand. You stood up for me, but I needed to fight too. We're a team, right? He nodded. Always. She was his partner, her place carved by her fire and his loyalty. The music swelled. Jack led her from the rooftop. A sleek electric car waited, a private escape. As they settled in, the city's lights danced. Leona's suit felt lighter. Jack pulled her close. You're incredible, Leona, he said. She smiled. You're here now. That's what matters. They drove, the city a symphony of dreams. The tea was comforting, a quiet rebellion against Victor's venom. Leona laughed as Jack recounted a botched product launch. Their shared ease was why she'd fallen for him. The night's pain faded. Leona felt her strength return. Her place beside Jack was a fact. I was scared tonight, she confessed. Scared they'd never see me, that I'd always be fighting. Jack cupped her face. They see you now, Leona, and anyone who doesn't isn't worth our time. You're my home, and I'm yours. The words were a vow. Leona leaned into his touch. The car drifted past Washington Square Park. Jack produced chocolates. You didn't steal my moment back there, she said. You amplified it, but next time let me lead. Jack laughed. Deal? The city lights flickered. She was Leona Maxwell, innovator, visionary, and Jack's partner. Their love was a fortress. The night's battles faded into triumph. Tomorrow, they'd face the world as one. But tonight, they'd won. Her heart soaring. This was their story, their dawn, their forever. A love forged in fire, ready to conquer whatever came next. Thank you for joining Leona and Jack's unforgettable journey through love, prejudice, and triumph under the New York skyline. What moved you most? Leona's unexpected reveal, or Jack's unwavering support? How would you have faced those judgments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you're tuning in from, maybe sipping coffee in London or stargazing in Tokyo. Your feedback lights up our world. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share this story with a friend to keep the inspiration flowing. We're so grateful for you and can't wait to meet you again in our next tale. Until then, keep shining.